Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. Please, if you're new here, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share. So thank you. And please leave your comments in the comment section below. We do appreciate it. Today we'll be talking about Pierre Nkurunziza, who was a Burundian politician who served as the ninth president of Burundi from August 2005 to his death in June 2020. For almost 18 years in office, making him the longest serving president in the history of Burundi. He was a member of the Hutu ethnic group and began a career in physical education before the outbreak of the Burundian Civil War, which brought him into the moderate rebel organization National Council, becoming president of the CNDD FDDD, which is National Council for the Defense of Democracy, Forces for the Defense of Democracy. He advocated a political solution to the conflict and was elected president in 2005, and controversially held the office for 3 terms rather than the 2 permitted in the constitution, sparking significant public unrest in 2015. In 2018, he announced he would not stand for the 4th term. Nkurunziza died of a cardiac arrest on the 8th of June 2020, shortly after the 2020 general elections. Nkurunziza's presidency. Nkurunziza's term as presidency began on 26th of August 2005, and he soon adopted a number of popular policies. He presided over the construction of Burundian state based on an inter-ethnic compromise enshrined in the Arusha Accord, which required the partitioning of state possession between Tutsi, Hutu, and the minority Twa ethnic groups. He presided over the demoralization of the final Hutu rebel group from the Civil War, the Party for the Liberation of Hutu People, National Forces of Liberation, in 2008. However, Nkurunziza's reputation became increasingly tarnished in the face of the political factionalism, corruption, and continued insecurity. He was re-elected for a second term in July 2020 with a big majority, but was effectively unopposed. The polls were boycotted by opposition parties. Nkurunziza's second term, 2010 to 2015, saw rising discontent with his leadership. Outdoor jogging was banned in June 2014 out of the fear that group exercises might be used as a cover for political meetings. This then came to a head with a public announcement on the 25th of April 2015 that Nkurunziza would stand for a 3rd term in the presidential election scheduled for June that year. This appeared to be contrary to the term limit established in the Arusha Accord and sparked widespread protests in Bujumbura and elsewhere, which led to violent confrontations. However, the Constitutional Court ruled on the 5th May that the projected 3rd term was legal. The protests escalated and dozens were killed. A military uprising was attempted on 13 May 2015 by soldiers loyal to the Godfrey Nyumbara, but collapsed after extensive fighting in Bujumbura. Assassinations of opposition politicians and critics took place, and it was reported that detained protesters were tortured or raped, and so-called black sites by regime loyalty. The rebel group emerged as the Republican Force of Burundi. A large number of the civilians fled into exile. Despite the instability and a continuing opposition boycott, the election took place in July and Nkurunziza was returned for a 3rd term. Nkurunziza's 3rd term, 2015 to 2020, saw the country's increasing isolation in light of international condemnation of the repression which accompanied the 2015 unrest. The East African Community and the African Union attempted to mediate the conflict unsuccessfully, and Nkurunziza's regime became increasingly isolated. As well as being widely condemned, the 2015 crisis led to 350,000 refugees flying across the border into Rwanda and other neighboring countries, in addition to another 110,000 being internationally displaced. Poverty increased and many middle-class Burundians immigrated. Nkurunziza withdrew Burundi from the International Criminal Court in 2017 and advocated constitutional reforms which would allow longer presidential terms, which were approved in a dispute referendum in May 2018. However, in June 2018, he announced that he would not be standing for a fourth term and that he would consequently stand down in 2020. The same year, he was given the title of Permanent Visionary by the CNDD/FDD. The CNDD/FDD's presidential candidate for the election of 2020 was Evariste Ndayishimiye. Nkurunziza specifically endorsed. The election took place in May 2020 and resulted in a large majority in favor of Nkurunziza's candidate. However, the election occurred against the backdrop of criticisms of Nkurunziza's response to the COVID-19 pandemic in Burundi, during which representatives of the World Health Organization were expelled. Election monitors from the East African community were also kept out. Nkurunziza died unexpectedly on June 8, 2020 at age 55 and at the 50th anniversary hospital in Karuzi. The government stated his death was caused by the cardiac arrest. However, some suspect that he actually died of COVID-19. His death occurred after the 2020 election but ahead of the projected handover of power in August. It had been intended that he would continue to remain prominent in public life as supreme guide of patriotism. A week-long period of national mourning was announced a week earlier. It had been reported that his wife had been flown to Nairobi for COVID-19 treatment. Alright guys, thank you for sticking with me. Hope you enjoyed the video and please subscribe. And don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you. Until next time. Bye guys.